There are so many artifacts in DPS Online. Over a couple of years, the devs have released so many artifacts, it's ridiculous. But not all these artifacts are equal. Some artifacts outshine others. In today's video, I'll have a detailed tier list for you guys, with all the different roles, showing which artifacts are the best. If you're a beginner or a returning player, I know this video definitely gonna help you. So with that being said, let's dive into it. So let's jump into the juicy stuff. Since majority of the community play a DPS role, I might as well start off with the best artifacts as of 2025 for DPSing. So we have DPS Might Artifacts. The Omega Totality artifact is really overpowered for add damage. It doesn't split damage on adds. That's a very good artifact to get, especially if you're DPSing. You must have that artifact. If you don't have that artifact and you're Might DPSing, you're going to lose a lot of damage. The transformation card is the second one to get, and that comes with the little brother there, the strategist card. So those work hand in hand. Another artifact that you could consider getting is the Ebon's Untethered Shadow. This artifact increases your might, and it works in synergy with the Omega Totality and the transformation card. Next, last on the list here is the Quizlet. Some players like to get the Quizlet for extra damage, extra free damage. If they're laid back and they don't like to, actually put in the work there, they like to use the Quizlet. So those are the artifacts here for DPS Might Artifacts. The Quizlet kind of the bottom there, guys, but it's still a good artifact to have. Moving on here, these are the artifacts for pet DPSing. The main one here, the Quizlet. Then we have the Grimorium Verum, Sorshard, and the Mercy. That's supposed to be actually the Mercy Amazotron Matrix, not Amazon, sorry. So that's the spelling right there. Mercy Amazotron Matrix. So yeah, those are the 4 artifacts that players use for pet DPSing. Pet DPSing is still a thing, guys. Players still do it. And those are the artifacts they're using. If it was me, pet DPSing, guys, I would definitely drop the Grimorium Verum there and implement the use of the Omega Totality artifact just to get the extra damage on adds. It's a lot of damage you're going to get. You may gotta tweak your loadout a little bit, but you can still pull it off, by getting that Omega Totality artifact added in there some way. Time will tell. I'll experiment with some loadouts and I'll see what I come up with. So moving on here to the next set here, we have the DPS Precision Artifacts. The transformation card, of course. This little brother, the strategist card. For the third artifact, you definitely want to have that Reforged Tantu Totem artifact for Prec DPSing. Very good artifact to have. It works with weapon combos and using your powers also. So, it's definitely good to have for Prec DPSing. And then the Venomous Dispenser, that's going to be the artifact you're going to swap every time you use your weapon buff. You're going to swap it in, hit your weapon buff, and swap it back out. If you want to get that for extra damage, it's up to you. So now we're moving on here to the healer artifacts. Page of Destiny, that's now number 1 artifact you want to get. Then the second one you want to get, the Purple Healing Ray. Those 2 are very good to get. The third one is optional. You could use the Eye of Gemini for a supercharged regeneration build for the group, and also the Eye of Gemini heals. Or you could use your DPS artifacts if you have it. The transformation card, you get some extra healing with that. The strategist card, or you could also get the Clarion. The Clarion is good for battle healing, and also the transformation card you could use for battle healing. So yeah, guys, those are the best artifacts for healing at the moment as of 2025. So let's move on. So these are the best artifacts to get for power/battle trolling. The Brand of Hecate artifact, very good artifact for power trolling and very good artifact for battle trolling. It buffs your might and also buffs your vitalization. So for the second artifact, we have the Bob Comlink artifact. This artifact is also good for power trolling and battle trolling. It scales off might and vitalization, and you also get that supercharged generator ability, so you could be able to get your group supercharge shields faster. That way you could give back a lot of power and protect the group. The Amulet of Ra is another good artifact to get. It's good for power trolling and battle trolling. It's actually to be considered one of the best artifacts because it increases the strength of your debuffs. healing debuff, defense debuff, and damage debuff, and so on. And it also spreads the debuffs. Very good artifact to have, and you could use it for battle trolling too. The Scrap of the Soul Cloak would be the last artifact you want to get. It's optional. It's good for swapping in when you use your group supercharge. You could swap it in and you could swap it back out just to get that extra supercharge regeneration. Moving on to the buff troll artifacts. First artifact you want to get would be the Claw of Elkhon, if I pronounce that correctly. This artifact buffs the might, buffs the damage for the group, the criticals and so on, dominance and all the other good stuff, you know. I don't want to get too much in detail of it, but it's a really good artifact to get. Very good for buff trolling. You must have this for buff trolling. Second, we have the Amulet of Ra. I already explained this earlier on. And then we have the Tetragon of Ongon. That's going to be the artifact used for buffing might. It scales off of health. And the Cog of Megadon, if I pronounce that correctly, also the Major Don. It's another artifact to get. It's for buffing Prec DPS. So I won't really consider that one too much because most of the majority of the community is actually might at the moment. So the cover of the Mage Don could get after. It's good for buffing Prec, as I said before. So and also scales off your health. And then we have the Scrap of the Soul Cloak. You want to swap that, hit your supercharge, group shield, get the benefits from it, supercharge regeneration, and then you swap it back out. You could use a swapping artifact for trolling. So those are the artifacts here for buff trolling, guys. Now we're moving on here to the tank artifacts. So these are the artifacts for tanking. This is regular tanking, my favorite role. We have the Mystic Symbol of the 7. Very good artifact to have. Does a lot of healing and scales off for restoration. Also, we have that red tornado redistribution model artifact. You want to get an artifact. Very good for battle tanking and very good for healing. Also, we do a lot of healing with it. And then we have the Manacles of Force and the Liars of Spit Water. You could actually have either or. Not necessarily have to have both. Those prevent certain one-shots, not scripted one-shots. You still will get one-shotted from the scripted one-shots, but the manacles prevent certain one-shots from hard-hitting moves. If you get hit like really, really hard from the boss or something, you would normally die if you don't have the manacles. It actually protects you. You don't take the full damage, like 100% damage, you know, and die from it. The Lazarus Split Water prevents one-shots from certain mechanics, not all, only certain mechanics in different reads. It's not going to always protect you every single time. Some one-shots will occur depending on the read. There are some one-shots that don't matter what, if you don't do the mechanics, you will get one-shotted. And some where you know, for some reason you wasn't able to do the mechanics, it prevents you from getting one-shotted. Also, if the healer don't heal you in time and your health drop to 0, the Lazarus Spit Water protects you and you don't die. Unless they don't bring back your health for that specific time that the healer has to bring back your health, that grace period. But you can just pick up yourself if you happen to die too. That's the next thing. So if you're Earthbrick tanking, these are the artifacts you want to get. I did a separate list for this because Earthbrick tanking is a little different. You want to get the Mercy Amazotron Matrix. This Matrix artifact, the Mercy, protects brick a lot. It helps heal bricks and put a shield on brick. Once you're getting heal, it's going to heal brick. So it ensures brick survivability. You guys know if you're brick tanking and as soon as brick dies, you guys will get one-shotted. You just like a DPS. So you have to resummon brick as quickly as possible. So this artifact helps with the survivability of brick. Then we have the red tornado redistribution model artifact. I suggest getting this for earth brick tanking, especially because it heals a lot. And based off how much damage your pets do too, it also heals you back. So those two artifacts, the Mercy Amazotron Matrix and the red tornado, is good for battle tanking also. So it's money worth well spent. You know, you're getting 2 for both roles. Then we have the Manacles of Force and the Liars of Spit Water. As I said before, you can either or. So moving on to another favorite role, which is battle tanking. We have the battle tank artifacts. Get the Omega Totality artifact, the one for DPSing. This is going to help out a lot for battle tanking. Yeah, this is a must. You must get this one. Also, the rare Tornado Reduction model that does a lot of damage and healing. The E-Bonds onto the Charter, you could get that one if you want to buy a tank, or you could get the transformation card. It's up to you. If you want, you could get the Mystic Symbol of the 7 for more survivability, because that artifact would heal you, especially with ads. And Pied Piper Flute going to be the swapping artifact, the bread and butter for Rage Battle Tank, and also for Fire and Earth Battle Tank too, if you want to use the supercharges a lot. That artifact procs a lot and do a lot of damage, the Pied Piper Flute. So that's my list here for the best artifacts for battle tanking. That's a top tier list, guys. I've been battle tanking for years now, and with those artifacts, you can't go wrong. Now we're moving on to the swappable artifacts. Dead King Scepter, swap that for a lot of damage. That's number 1. The Eye of Gemini would be a second one. Then you could get the Philosopher's Stone, and depending on your power, you have to actually have a supercharge that actually do physical damage. You get the Pied Piper's Flute. The Mercy Imazutron Matrix, that's also a good one to have to swap when you summon your pets and so on. Just swap it and summon your pets to get extra damage. And then the Scrap of the Soul Cloak, you could swap that when you're using your supercharge if you do have the Eye of Gemini. So those are the artifacts to get, the swappable artifacts. Very good to have those to do extra damage if you want to keep up with the sweat DPSs. So yeah. So that's it for my complete tier list. I hope this video helped you guys, especially those new players and returning players. And, share it to your friends that play these Persona. This will definitely help them. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. And if you guys want, you guys can check out some of my videos here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys in my next one. You guys take care.